Thank you for listening to the Tattness podcast on the Tattness Co. Network.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A Mercedes kind of sentiment, luxury, and trust in me to honor the free we all should be. It sees my sundial burst into yin and yang, right and left me.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Tattness podcast. My guest today is a multi-award winner. Absolutely amazing cat, man. We became like fucking friends immediately. This cat is like a brother immediately to me. We have so much in common. He's done the same shit as me, man. Transitioned from an unbeaten fucking MMA career to doing movies. He's got 62 current acting credits, if I'm not mistaken, to his name, among other things. Writer, director, producer, just name it. All the awards, all the accomplishments, has worked with so many legends, man. Like, out of all the legends I've had on my show, this cat is definitely another one of them. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely one up there. Has worked with, we have a mutual friend, Jan Birch from People Under the Stairs. He has worked with him recently. I'm going to put a link in the description to his IMDb. If you have not seen this man's work, do yourself the favor, please. Check out his IMDb page and check out his work. My guest is none other than Mr. Harley Wallen. Absolute legend, bro. We talk about everything on this show. We talk about MMA. We talk about how the sport has changed, the legends that came before all of us. And we talk about the training myths and the diet myths and the fad diets and, movies and everything, man. Everything in between. We just kind of go off onto a whole bunch of shit that, we think about a lot. So... And things you run into in this industry. So check it out, man. Hope you dig it.
All right. So the funniest thing, actually, I forgot to mention off air that when I was contacted about having you on was right away, of course, you get the rundown of who the person is. Yeah. And the first thing that I was like, I know who that is, because we actually did a run of guest spots on the same shows, just like days apart. A while back, like I was on Jimmy Starr's show, and you were cool. Later that week. I saw you on that, and I was like, I was just on that, and then I'm on other stuff, and like it's like this cycle where we just kind of paralleled each other quite a bit. So I was like, oh, this is cool, man. So I was like, I know
that's pretty cool. small world. Every single time the world looks big, something like this happens, and I go, no, still small.
Right. It's so true. I thought that was kind of funny because as soon as he said the name, I was like, yeah, I totally know who that is. He's like, oh, cool, small world.
Yeah. Shout out to Jimmy, by the way, because Jimmy Starr and Ron Russell, those two guys are hilarious. You never have any idea what's going to happen. I've done the interview with them 3 times now. And I remember one time where I think I mentioned the current project once because it just didn't, like, we were talking about real stuff and we were in it. And we just got stuck there. And that happens if you have a good conversation.
Right. I've been on their show a couple times. They've both been on mine. And
yeah,
Ron kills me, man.
He's hilarious.
Oh, it's so damn funny. So, I know exactly what you're saying because the first time I was on their show, right out the gate, the first thing this dude says, so how big's your pecker, man? And I'm like, it doesn't even surprise me coming from you, man.
Right.
Like, and I was just like, okay, it's Ron. So I came into this prepared for that. Funny as hell, man. He was on my show, probably one of the earlier guests that I had. And so damn funny, man. I was laughing my ass off. And yeah, I had a blast on that show too.
But between the attitude, the dialect, and his lifespan and his eccentricness, it can't be anything but awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, I heard really good things. Shout out to Ron Russell. I have heard now 3 independent people saying he was the man in that Clown Hotel too, that supposedly he was a standout. So I got to see it still myself, but kudos to Ron for that.
With his personality, I'm not even surprised, man.
Right.
Somebody's got to be the center of attention, and I think we both who wins that war.
Yeah, for sure.
I was looking through your acting credits, and I was like, God damn, I could do a fucking weekly special of just your acting credits and then talk to you, but I didn't have enough time to.
Yeah, it's been pretty busy. I'll be honest with you though. So I'm a Swedish actor, and I did a few things in Sweden, and then I looked at myself and I said, do I really want to do this in Sweden with very limited opportunities? My mom said when I was 5, I was like, I'm moving to America. I'm going to be a big movie star. So I was like, I already had that bug in me from a young age. And then I made the move. But when I moved here, the first year or so was pretty productive. I did some independent films. I did some commercials. And at the time I had long hair because I was a martial artist and I had my little image thing going. And then I got this idea that if I cut my hair, I'll be more of a mainstream kind of guy. So I cut my hair, but I hadn't had short hair for almost a freaking decade. So suddenly I'm looking in the mirror and I look goofy as all hell to me. And you can't act if you don't feel good about yourself, because that camera sees everything. Everything you think and feel, that damn thing is going to capture. So if you're not comfortable in your own skin, it don't matter. You can be the prettiest person in the world. It ain't going to matter one bit. Because you can be Steve Buscemi, who has a different look on camera, but he owns it. He kills it and owns it. If you don't own it and kill it, though, it'll eat you up alive. So I took a hiatus because I was in the business world, and I continued that trend along with my professional fighting. So I still had an artistic outlet through my MMA, but it took me a while to get back to this again, man. It was a wild few years of not knowing who the hell I was.
Yeah, I think everyone can relate to that. Especially when you change your look for the first time in a long time, you almost don't recognize yourself.
Yeah.
Immediately that becomes a bad thing, where it's like, it's like the glaring standout. So you're like, now everyone's going to look at me and be like, oh, you did this. And like you could have a beard for like a year and then shave it. Everyone's going to point that out. And you're just like, let's get this over with. So there's that like week or two long grace period where that's all people want to address. So I guess it's in your mind, right? So you have that like self-conscious vibe. Yeah. And yeah, you're right. It will show up on camera. The camera don't lie. It catches every damn thing.
Everything.
That's the worst.
I love that though.
Yeah.
That's what makes the art and the craft matter, because I had an acting coach who said there's a big difference between getting through it and going through it. And I remember the first time he said it, I was like, all right. And it didn't register with me. But then I saw a guy, it's a local guy who is a good actor, but he doesn't connect across to his partner. He acts in a bubble. And I was like, oh, now I get it. I understand what it is now. There's a difference when you reach across and you become vulnerable or whatever it is that you have to be in that scene, but you're going through it. And I was like, finally, that quarter that he put in 3 years earlier just fell. And I was like, this is why I love acting. These things happen to me all the time where I get a lesson in a class or somewhere, and then I think I get it. And then I show up on set, and a real time thing happens, and I go, oh, that's what it meant. That I remember first probably 5 years of my true acting career, that happened probably once every 6 months, that I would go, oh, that's what they mean. Wild.
Yeah, it's always funny how we could hear the most brilliant thing and it'll take so long for us to figure out what that means.
Right.
And then it just clicks one day, organically it just happens, I think.
Yeah.
Where you realize as you get a little more comfortable with what you're doing, but it still takes effort. It takes effort to be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Hey man, I was told one time the best advice I ever got was like, because I'm new to this shit still. So I don't have that experience, and I was told never get high, never smoke weed, on set, dude, because then trust me, you get this idea in your head of like this whole idea of grown ass adults pretending to be someone else is so ridiculous. You don't want to.
Oh yeah.
Because you just focus on that, right? Where it's like, this is just foolish. Why am I doing this shit?
Oh, it's a mind trip. Yeah.
Because you're focusing on it. Like, it always makes me like pay so much.
It's that third eye is what my teacher used to call. If you are self-aware, it doesn't work. You cannot be two people at once. You have to pick. Are you going to be Harley or are you going to be the character? Can't be both.
Exactly. I've been fortunate enough to be able to work with people that it just feels natural.
Yeah.
So thankfully, that's been a blessing, because then you can kind of put that, yourself on the back burner for a while, and kind of get into it. And if you get to play parts where it's kind of you anyway, it's even better. But
even better. I mean, generally speaking, when I get an audition come across, I read it first as me.
Right.
And then I look and say, is there anything about this character that is like drastically different from me? And then I address those things, and then I say it again, and it's still centered in me, but I read it as what I would be if I was this guy.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, this seems pretty correct. And sometimes you got to add a little bit of backstory because you get 3 lines and you don't know who the hell this guy is. And now you got to make up an individual and you don't know, is he shy? How does he feel about the person across from him? Where did he come from? Where is he going? You don't know any of these things. You're just guessing away. But you got to create some backstory so that it holds together. And then you got to live this character for, 45 seconds. And then you got to be like, all right, done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the challenging part, is when you get it handed a script where you're reading, you're like, I wouldn't say none of this shit.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's the worst. Like, I finally learned to say no to those.
Yeah, like who taught?
But that's hard. In the beginning, it's hard because you want to play everything. You want to get the experience. You want to get the reps. You see somebody attached to it that would be fun to work with, and you immediately make those changes. And then you go in and you're like, shit, I'm not even good at being this dude.
Right. I always think of like Seinfeld, and I think of George, and I'm like, that is acting skill right there. Because what sane person could possibly pretend to be that neurotic so well?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My very first acting coach says, nobody will believe you until you believe you. When you believe that you are who you say you are, now you have a shot at convincing others. But that's where it begins and ends. You got to believe first.
I think that goes for any aspect of life, though.
Yeah.
I think that carries over into business and anything else. Like, if you don't give a shit about your craft, why should anyone else? You know what I mean?
Amen.
If you're not going to put in the work because you believe in what you're doing, then why should anyone be interested? I mean,
for sure.
Everything you do, you got to sell yourself, right?
Yeah. That's one of the things that I love, and I've said this a million times, but I love betting on myself because when I do this stuff, whatever I earn from one film goes into the next film, because I love betting on myself, because I'll put my work ethic and my search for a higher level of craft, like from an acting standpoint to a directing standpoint. I know I do my due diligence. I know I'm growing, I'm learning and evolving all the time. And I know most people don't have the work ethics to keep up with me. So I'm very, very happy betting on me. So I pour all of what I make into everything I do, because that's the only way I know how to do things.
That's brilliant. I always tell people, like, you have to always bet on yourself, because at the end of the day, your effort is the one variable nobody but you can control. So,
yeah,
it's not an even playing field. You got advantage there. So, your work ethic is your choice. Your effort, only you can determine when you gave all of that you got. And no one can decide that for you, no matter how much power they have, man. So you could practice your lines until it's memorized. You could be that character if you need to, by just living it, whatever it takes. Only you can do that for yourself. Like, other people don't dictate that, no matter who they are. I don't give a shit if a producer, director, fucking writer. It doesn't matter, dude. Like, your effort is only controlled by you. So always bet on yourself, because you got the upper hand. And a lot of people just don't realize that, because they don't have that confidence. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the one thing I've seen is, I think a lot of people, and I remember seeing this in the business world, where somebody would be giving 50% because they worked, let's say that they worked at a sales job and they were getting $10, $12, $15 an hour plus commission. They would be disgruntled about their hourly wage, not realizing the potential of their commission, and they would be lazy. And I was like, dude, I'm banking 10 times what you're doing, having the same job, having the same opportunity, and it's all about what you put in is what you get out. 90% of the time, whether it's a relationship or a business, if you half-ass your energy into it, that's what you're going to get back.
Absolutely. And people don't look at the big picture. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I find it's always, the end result. It's like going to the gym. Like, there is no end.
It's the journey, man.
Right. And, and this whole lack of confidence, like in MMA, you don't see somebody walking out to the cage with their head down like, I'm going to get fucking killed.
No.
It's not going to go well.
You got to be in the zone for that. Yeah, I'm retired at this point, but that's what I spent a big part of my life doing. And I've had so many people say they think my work ethics comes a lot from, I was on the national team for Sweden in 2 different martial arts, then went into pro MMA because when I first started, there was no amateur, it was prize fighting. So when I started, that was how it was. And I do think there's something to that because there's nothing like it. Like, you got to prepare. If you don't prepare, you're going to have a short career and you're going to be mumbling and not making sense out of your sentences pretty shortly after. So I was like, I'm not interested in that. I'm here to win. I'm here to win quick and convincing, collect my purse and go home.
That was
the game plan.
I always said it takes a special motherfucker to want to get punched in the face for a living. I had my fun doing that, man. And then it's like, okay, now I'm going to go do acting and shit because opportunities come up and I'm like, that's cool, man. When that opens the door to do other shit, you jump on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's a fantastic skill for people like us. When I get to set and they're going to offer me a role of any kind that has any action in it, half of the time they're like, hey, would you mind if we expand on that? Because you can do this and this, you know what I mean? Suddenly my scene gets filled in because of my experience, and I have a much bigger imprint on the film itself, and you build a stronger relationship with the people you work for because you just gave more than what they paid for, essentially. And whenever you can do that, whenever you can exceed expectations, you maybe say, yeah, but they're getting more than what they pay for. What you should focus on is you just made a bigger mark, and that's going to pay off because somebody's going to see that and want you to do that for them.
Exactly. I mean, I always tell people, man, like, at the end of the day, you're putting your name on it. It better be good. Because that's all you got. Yep. That's all you got. So your reputation is everything. And if you're going to put your name on something, you better do it damn well, or you're done, because people are going to associate everything with your name on it as trash if it's garbage. Yeah. There's not a lot of room for, first impressions are pretty much it. There's not a lot of room for making up for, bad reputation. And that's kind of funny. Like, movies weren't really something on my radar at first. Mm-hmm. And then, to his credit, Jimmy actually said on his show, like, you're 6'5", 265 of muscle. Why the fuck are you not the next Jason or Myers? And I said, because nobody asked. Yeah. So he's like, so you'd be interested in something like that? Oh, shit, yeah. Why wouldn't I? Yeah. That'd be fun as hell. So then, I got to thinking about it, and I was like, why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? And then I was like, sure. Because all of a sudden, people were contacting me on social media that were producers and directors and like, hey, man, I got an opportunity. I'm like,
that's awesome.
Just like that? That easy? All right, fuck, I'll take it, because that don't happen every day, So that's cool as hell. But it is fun.
like we were talking about earlier, we were talking about how small this world is. That's the other thing people don't count on. We all talk. The filmmakers talk. Yep. So if you have a bad experience with somebody, they're going to be like, hey, I worked with so-and-so. How was it? You know what I mean? Like they want to know how my experience was, and they will probably hire or not hire based on what I say.
Right.
And most people don't think about that.
You know, that's the thing too, right? It's like, you don't want to be that guy where it's like everyone's saying, oh, that person's difficult to work with.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work with someone that's fucking a pain in the ass.
Nope.
You know?
Nope.
You know, it's just, I don't know why people do that, especially these people that like they get into it, they just begin, and right at the gate they're acting like they're king shit. Yeah, fuck that. You know?
I can't take that either, because the worst thing is, I mean, I get if you've been a giant star and you've recently fallen off and you have only seen these big sets, you've only seen these professionals, and then you're going to come to an indie set. I mean, I can tell you, I've been on sets where the director was an hour late. I've been to sets where you show up and nothing is done. I'm like, the second person on set is me and a makeup artist, and it's like 15 minutes after call time. Like, these things happen. And I'm not a prima donna, but you do that, I'm not working with you, man. Like, this will be the one and done for me.
And now you've been
not interested in that one bit.
Right. And now you've been
because the quality is going to be what you put into it, right?
Exactly. And now you've officially been on a show where the host shows up late like a dickhead.
I don't think we were late though.
I fucking got that email. I was like, oh shit, it's after 3. I'm like, so it is today. Now I know. Fuck.
That's funny.
Oh fuck. It's like, I hope he doesn't leave. Got to get there and fucking, you know, jump in the fucking chair and get this thing booted up. And then of course awesome. Zoom has its fucking, you know, even though you're waiting, it doesn't pop up to let you in yet until like a good minute. I'm like,
yeah,
me up.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I just wanted to make sure that we had the right info and everything else. And I don't think we were about 5 minutes off.
Yeah,
I'm talking when you show up on set. I've showed up on set. I filmed with somebody in Canada. This is like 5 years ago. But I show up and the set was her house. And when I got there, it was just her and me. And she said, I have a couple errands to run first. Would you mind driving me? I was like, you're kidding, right? Like, I don't even understand how this works, but this can't be how it works. And that stuff happened, and I was like, one and done.
Was this like a fucking Craigslist audition or some shit?
It was bad, man. Like, and she actually finished and completed the project and released it, went to some festivals. But it's just, who has the audacity to do that to somebody? Like, I value people's time way too much to even think about doing that. Right. Could you imagine that? Showing up on set and the director saying, hey, would you mind being my Uber for an hour? And then we'll go to set. Yeah, by the way, I'm not prepared at all.
Right. Well, on behalf of Canada, sorry about that, man.
right.
I don't know who it was, but I'll take the responsibility for it.
You'll own that one?
You know, they obviously won't, so you know, somebody has to.
Whereabouts in Canada are you from?
I'm from Toronto originally, but I moved to Nova Scotia a few years ago, and it's like the best thing I ever did. Toronto sucks. It's so brutal now.
That's so weird. What's so bad about it? Because I don't go a lot. I go for TIFF, and on occasion I go there for just hanging out. But for traveling and visiting, it's pretty cool. Yeah. What's gotten bad about it?
It's just kind of like, you know, your crime rate is way too high to be having prices like this, bro.
Yeah.
It's so expensive. And driving through like downtown.
What do they think they are? LA?
Right? You know, like, come on now, let's get over ourselves a little bit. You know, it's like New York Junior. It's so busy.
Oh, gotcha.
You're better off not driving because it's such a zoo.
Oh, yeah.
And like, there's townhouses going for like $3 million. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's insane. I have a couple of friends that moved to Mississauga just so that they would drop their rates in half.
I lived there a long time, man.
Yeah.
I was born in Etobicoke, So right near there. And
Nice.
I lived in Brampton too. I left
Yeah.
there to move here, and it's so different here that I'm like, I have no desire to even go back and visit Ontario at this point.
Wow, damn.
Yeah, it's so peaceful here. Like, you know, you get your bullshit here too, but
Yeah.
not on that level. And
Yeah.
it's more affordable for everybody. It's just
Don't they have 40% incentives in Nova Scotia? I thought they have 40% film incentives.
I think so. Yeah. That sounds about right.
Fantastic.
A lot of people trip out because I live in the city where Trailer Park Boys was filmed, and everyone loves that shit. So they've got, one of them has a bar out here. Apparently the wings are really good. So I was like, I got to go there. But it's really nice here. It's peaceful. There's beaches all over the place. Just super peaceful and quiet. And, you know, it's night and day. It's not as congested. Awesome. Yeah, Toronto's just so congested.
It is. That is true. I hate it's become a little bit like LA and New York. Like, you don't even want to drive. Yeah. You don't even want to deal with that.
No,
that's the one thing I noticed the last time we were there, because we went out for TIFF, you know, what is it, in September, it'll be 2 years ago. And I was like, this has gotten bad. Mm-hmm. Like it's just and it's exploding in size too. It's still growing at a pretty wild pace.
Absolutely. It's just constantly expanding. And yet their homeless rate is like super high, and it's like nobody's doing anything for them.
And that's odd about Canada, because I always felt like Canada was like the closest thing to Europe and America kind of thing. And me being Swedish, I was like, it's not really. No, it's not.
Not at all. I mean, the pandemic really showed what a mess Toronto is.
Yeah.
Because there's this mentality of like, nobody's going to tell me what to do. So the rates out there. My grandmother, before she passed like 4 months ago now, was in a home because she was like, you know, she had dementia at this point.
Yeah.
The COVID rate there, they had more cases. It was 99% there, staff included.
Oh my God.
The entire building had more cases than the entire province of Nova Scotia. One building had more cases than this whole province combined. That's bananas, bro. Like, that is nuts.
Yeah.
And it's just everybody going out in droves, no masks, no nothing, protesting about it, saying that it's bullshit and they shouldn't have to.
Oh, yeah.
And yet I got friends that are like in their 30s in ICU fucking with this shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, that haven't recovered fully since, because now they're breathing, and they had asthma in the first place. Their breathing has been brutal. They got muscle pain and all this crazy shit. And I'm like, in their 30s, they should be pretty healthy.
Yeah, and nobody's factoring in what's the cost going to be of the long haulers. Right. Because I just like, because I have a little bit of the mind fog from it. Anything that when I write or when I sit down to do the production stuff, I have to like really focus. I can't be around stuff anymore when I do that, because it's too much ADD for me. So I got to have really like focused sessions for any of those major things. But beyond that, I've had 2 kidney stones. I've never had a kidney stone in my life. I've had 2 since I had COVID. Reading up on long haulers, there are several major kidney functions that are affected by this. There are people having all kinds of lifelong problems because of this. So yeah, you can argue what the death rate is. It's under 1%. But first of all, if it's 1% and you have 100 million people, that means a million people died.
Right.
We can't be okay with that.
That's a significant number.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a significant enough that we need to do something. And then the second part of that is, it's not just deaths, it's the long-term costs to people's lives, because that's going to be eaten up by our healthcare system, is going to be eaten up by, if you can't figure out a way to fight your attention deficit, that could end up costing you millions in your lifetime. So it's not quite that simple to just say, screw it, and be okay with it. But on the other hand, I also don't think, I think a lot of places that tried these hard shutdowns, and then they open up a little bit, and of course it starts hitting again, and then they shut down, and then they open up a little bit, and then they shut down. You're never going to get anywhere that way, because the whole point of the shutdown was to give our healthcare a chance to get ahead. That was the whole purpose. So that was the angle to attack it from. But I think both crazy right and crazy left, they both lost their minds. The crazy left wanted to just shut everything down. The crazy right said there is no virus, and both are insane.
Right. You know, and it's so funny. The night and day difference between Nova Scotia and Ontario is like, it's so funny. You can point that out to people in Toronto and in Ontario as a whole. That's like here, you know, we're almost back at full capacity for the gym and things like that, while you guys still have everything locked down. There's a reason for that. It's because you fuckers have this, like, you're taking our rights away mentality. Over here, people cooperated, and everything's been business as usual. You just wear a fucking mask. Big deal, you know?
Yeah.
Half you motherfuckers ain't that pretty anyways.
Yeah, they probably should give some kind of commission for the mask. And be like, hey, I can act like I'm good looking like the rest of them now. No, but it's funny because everybody's like, well, Sweden didn't shut down. And I'm like, dude, I'm Swedish. My whole family still lives there. Let me explain how it worked in Sweden. They said social distance, move stuff apart, limit capacity. Guess what Sweden said? All right.
They listened.
And guess what happened? They were able to do life throughout all of this. Exactly. And the only thing that ended were major concerts and major sporting events where you can't social distance. But restaurants, they dropped down probably 20-25% in capacity. The really busy places dropped maybe 50%. The only thing that really shut down was, like I said, like big movie theaters and concerts and stuff. That was it. But people followed the rules. So same thing. They made it out on the other side of things and lost a lot less than us bozos trying to do everything except what we needed to do.
Right, and that's exactly how it was here versus Ontario, because here, you know, every so often it'd be like, oh, we got 3 new cases. Whereas Ontario, there was a point they were getting 900 new cases per day.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Well, you haven't seen the U.S. numbers then, because they wanted to make sure they broke all the records. It's like, yeah, I know there are more people in India and China, but we're number 1. Oh, man.
That's funny. That's the U.S. for you. They see that kind of shit.
Good, bad, and everything in between. That is the mentality.
Like, India's doing what? Hold my beer.
Yes.
God damn. The U.S. will not be outdone in any way, shape, or form.
Ever. At anything, whether it's good or bad.
You know, I used to live in Niagara Falls, and I'd occasionally look across the board and be like, what the fuck are they up to now?
Right. There's a comedian said, he said that, like, I think it's like 90% of the records in the Guinness Book of Records are held by Americans. And he said there's a reason for that. He said there's 3 people that have jogged across the Sahara Desert, like the least, like a place that nobody even wants to be at. But 3 Americans, nobody else has done that. Jogged across the Sahara Desert. Like, who would even come up with that?
I was going to say.
I'm like, yeah, that sounds American, all right.
I was going to say, like, who the fuck wakes up one day and is like, get me my sandals. I'm going to run across the fucking desert.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
You know, like, why?
I don't know. It's almost like I read a story about a guy who's climbed Mount Everest like 5 times. I don't get it. Like, I get the one.
Right.
After that, I don't get it anymore. Like, you've done it. It is the peak of the world. You did it. At that point, do you not want to go to like the deepest crevasse in the ocean? Like, it should change, right?
You know, one extreme to the other. Why not?
Well, yeah.
You know, go to space, motherfucker. You already done
do something else. You already did this one. So now you can never be like, you made it your first time. From now on, it's only downhill. You know, now you could not make it, which means that you are less than what you were before. Try something new, man.
You know, it's like now you're just showing off.
Yeah, especially if you make it 5 times. That's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, fucking. I think one of the funniest things I ever heard was Charlie Murphy. God rest his soul, man. That dude was funny as hell. Eddie Murphy's brother. That's, you know, talked about male ego being the reason behind why we do these things. And said, you know, you'll read about some motherfucker climbing the top of, you know, a mountain, the highest goddamn mountain. And he's like, now you'll ask yourself, what's at the top of a mountain? Not a goddamn thing. Well, then what the fuck are you doing climbing up there for?
Right?
Just male ego because you can, right?
It is. It is that whole conquer and I mean, it's still imprinted in us. You know, like I feel that with film and with acting and stuff.
Yep.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, like the big dream is to one day stand there with an Oscar, or somebody from my team to stand there with an Oscar or a Globe or something and be like, wow, we did it. Like, this is that's our Mount Everest, I get. You know, I think so anyways, for many of us. And that's how it is for me. So I get the mentality.
And now, because you said that, some dickhead's goal is to stand on top of a mountain with a fucking Oscar.
Yeah.
And he's American.
That might be me. Who knows? Maybe that'll be my goal after the Oscar.
There you go. And this shit is why women live longer than us. You know that, right?
That is absolutely it. That is absolutely it. I was watching yesterday. I stumbled across a Jordan Peterson video where he talked about equality. And he said, because they said something about equality, and he said, 99% of bricklayers are men. Do we want equality there? He's like, 84% of inmates are men. Do we want equality there? Like, do we want to have those conversations that all the world's most dangerous jobs are held by men? That men have more suicide, men have more violent crime on them. And do we want equality? Do we not want equality? I think it's a very tricky thing. I think equality has to be equality of opportunity, not equal outcome. I think that's the conversation that I think people fail to have. Is like, what is equality? Is it that all of us at the end of whatever we do should all have the same amount of money in our pocket and the same 3 minutes on screen? Or is it that we all had an opportunity to put money in our pocket and to be on the screen? And then what we each did with our own opportunity dictated our own success.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I've touched on that on this show actually in the past about how people do want, you know, equality in terms of opportunity, but not in terms of responsibility. That comes with it, right? You know, and to me, that's when it gets a little bit crazy, you know. And we got, you know, my producer, I brought her on the show for that because I was like, I don't want this to come across, you know, battle of the sexes kind of deal. So it has her input, and she agreed, said, yeah, you know, look at the court system. Women are going to guarantee get custody of the kids every time, even if it's not right. And you know, they don't want to give up that special treatment, but they want everything else that they're lacking in their mind, you know, brought up. It's like, that's not equality though. The definition of equality is everyone's got a, you know, fair, even playing field, and not like pick and choose where, you know, you get this bonus benefit, you know, I get this that you don't get, but then I also want what you got that I feel I don't have. That's not equality. You know what I mean? So it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, and that is absolutely right, because I think that especially with the new movement moving in, I felt so good that they stood up against the system and said, we're not going to let the system screw us over anymore. But then they invite a system that screws over anyone who doesn't think like them.
Right.
And I'm like, well, hold on here. Let's be reasonable. We got to have a conversation here. We can't just decide how things are and then move on. You know, it's one of them things that if we're gonna be equal of opportunity and fair, then let's be that. Let's be equal of opportunity and fair, and then let the cards fall where they may, and hopefully let's have a system that anybody falling through the cracks is going to get caught and get a new shot at getting it together again. I think that's the way to do it. And I don't care if you're a guy or a girl or anything in between. I don't care if you're black or white or yellow or orange or green. To me, it's all about, here's your opportunity. What are you going to do with it? Exactly. And then for each person, it's their own personal journey, and you don't succeed because you're something, and you don't falter because you're something. You generally succeed or falter because what you did.
Absolutely. And that's the whole thing, is equality should be by definition. You know what I mean? And then what dictates who gets what in what it should be situational. It should be like, okay, well, this person, you know, look at divorce or something. It's like, there's no equality. 50. I remember people bitching about, oh, they got half of everything. Now they're getting like 90% of everything. Look at poor Hulk Hogan, man. That divorce drained that dude. And like, who decided that, you know, he puts his body through hell, can't walk proper anymore, just beat up. The guy had like 18 plus back surgeries, and he gets divorced. And she gets the 3 houses. Who the fuck needs 3 houses, man? And then the majority of the money, it's like, where's this equality that we're talking about?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's a tricky thing, man. That's for sure. I think that's the problem with all this is we're trying to make a one size fit all, and you're 6'5", loaded and jacked. You ain't gonna fit. I'm 5'10", 200. Like, we're not gonna fit in the same clothes.
No.
we you know what I mean? Like, the one size fits all approach doesn't work. Right. Each thing has to be its own thing, and we have to evaluate that as its own thing.
Right. You know, I don't think it's going to go over well if I take my 6'5" ass in to do karate with the small kids, man.
Right.
Just so I could be the badass of the class, right? You know?
Yeah, that's where equality goes away and fairness takes over.
Right.
Because it's not fair for you to fight them, you know?
You know, and there should be some moral compass there, I would hope. You know, that kind of dictates that might be kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's true that's a conversation that I don't think a lot of people want to have, because they know someone's going to be upset when that conversation's done, because it doesn't care. Equality has a definition, and it doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. You know what I mean? Like, equality means just that. It's just across the board, and then we have to take it, you know, a certain approach based on factors. You know, like, for example, a custody battle. Mm-hmm. If somebody is financially more fit to take care of the kids and the other one's on drugs and this, that, and the third, why the fuck are they getting the kids guaranteed? That doesn't make sense to me. And the reason I mention that is because there's too many stories I've heard on the news now that are heartbreaking, where the kid's being like abused by the mother's new boyfriend. The father's trying his hardest to get custody. Next thing you know, the kid's dead. Yeah. Because the courts failed.
Yeah. It's funny, but I don't know if you know this, but the number one statistical marker on child abuse is whether or not if the father lives in the household. That's the craziest thing to dawn on you, to understand that. Think about it like this: if you have a tiger male who runs his pride, he's the one who mates with all the females, and it's his offspring that comes up. Eventually, that lion will be beat by a rival that's going to take over. Do you know what the rival does? The first thing they do after they beat the old male? They kill all the male cubs. All of them.
Yep.
Why do you think that is?
Ain't theirs.
Ain't theirs. It's something that's going to rival them.
Right.
So that's the thing. So when you're looking at how things work in the real world, that is a legit factor that is out there that should be considered with all this. It should be considered with a lot of things out there. But I think we are at a place right now where I think everybody wants to sit in a circle and hold hands and say kumbaya. And I don't mind that mentality. But as a fighter, I can tell you it's a lot better to be prepared for bad things to happen than to not be. Because generally speaking, things do happen. And I think about stuff where, I've been out with my friends and a bad fight breaks out, and my ability to neutralize and not have a problem has saved the day. And it could have ended up going really bad otherwise. And it's one of them things that people don't understand. So it's very good to be gentle, but to carry a big stick.
Absolutely. And that's another thing that's interesting that you say that, because I was talking to my producer a couple days back about that, after being a pro fighter and whatever, it's like you have a responsibility when you go to a bar and some drunk starts running his mouth, like, you can't just knock the dude out because it's not fair at all. It's like there's that whole 3 foot kind of radius of like, if he don't step in that bubble, he's just talking shit. He's not presenting any kind of threat. So it's your responsibility to just be like, whatever, dude, just keep talking. But if you start coming at me physically, I'm going to put you down, but not like annihilate you either. You know what I mean?
Half of the time you buy the dude a beer, he'll chill out.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Like literally, it's the best diffusion ever. I don't end up in jail. You don't end up in the hospital. I love it. It's a much easier way. It's like your ego just needed a little touch. Yeah. And here's the touch. Now let's go on with our day and have a good time.
Exactly. And then there's those people that use that as an excuse. Because they train like, no, I'm just going to go drop everybody that opens their mouth.
Oh, God, I can't stand that.
No, I don't like that shit.
And it's dangerous. It's like legitimately dangerous. People don't understand. Like, I think about like, are you an MMA guy or?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'm now out of that. After my son passed, I just kind of, my son passed, so I took a hiatus. And then once he passed, I was like, I'm fucking going to do other things. Military trained and all that too. So it was like, you really got to be careful. Situations.
Big time. No, that's wild. But yeah, I always tell people like little things like my fighters before they took their very first amateur fight, I had a rule that you had to be choked unconscious because in the fight, I don't know how big you are on watching the older fights, but Anderson Silva fought Dan Henderson. Had him in a rear naked choke or a triangle. I can't remember. I think it was rear naked choke at the end of the second round. If Dan Henderson was comfortable getting choked out, he would have never tapped because there were seconds left, 1 or 2 seconds left. You would have walked to your corner a little woozy. That was worst case scenario, and would have been 1 round each going into the third round. And I'm thinking to myself, like, who knows who would have won that fight?
Right.
Henderson on their feet was winning the whole way, and if he didn't bring him to the ground, they would have had a whole different ball game. So I'm like, no, you got to be prepared for this. You got to know what you're doing before you step in that cage, man.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I love the older fights too, man. Those are great. I had back in the day before all that, I was working at a restaurant as a head chef, and we actually had a big picture on the wall of the incident where that dude died in the octagon. It was a black and white picture where they were tending to him. And I was like, damn, dude, that's dark, but it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
I was actually just recently in talks with Ken Shamrock about coming on the show. So that's cool.
Oh, cool.
I love the older fights, man. And that dude is still ripped as shit for his age.
Yeah, man.
He's like 57 now, I think. And damn, still in great shape. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, no, he's a special guy. I think about because back in the day before it got real big, there were all these underground places where before it got the MMA name, it was No Holds Bar, it was Bushido, it was all these other things until they decided on MMA to be the official term. But we had all these cats coming around all the time, and I've trained with Horace Gracie. I've trained with a bunch of the legends of the past, Randy Couture. I've had the pleasure to share the mat with Frank Trigg and all those guys. So even Sean Tompkins, your Ontario boy, loved Sean Tompkins. Like, seriously, amazing guy. I don't think I've ever had somebody hold mitts better in my life than that guy. Absolutely amazing.
That's awesome, man. Did you see the documentary about starting the UFC? Fuck, that was interesting.
Oh yeah, it's a wild ride, man. Wow. Could you imagine? I mean, the guy who sold it, he's a little disgruntled now, obviously, but man, that's got to be painful. It's almost like that third person that started Apple, who got bought out for $200,000 or whatever it was. Like, could you imagine having a third of the company and getting $200,000 and just like partying that up in Vegas, and then you're out of the billions? It's like, oh man, that would hurt.
Oh, you're gonna carry that forever, dude. That's gonna. Oh yeah, that's a constant kick in the nuts. Every day you wake up, that's the first thing that pops into your head.
Just hop right on that ice pack and start your day.
You wake up not in the house that you could be living in right now.
Yeah, right.
That's
brutal.
Fuck, man. And then they went and sold it for so much, and I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? That dude's probably on a ledge somewhere every day.
It's so funny because I do commentary and host a show on UFC Fight Pass called Warrior Wednesdays. We've been on hiatus because of this virus, but we're supposed to be back in September and have our first show because of capacity reasons. But I love doing it. But I always think to myself, I get my check and I'm like, this is not bad by any means. But I'm like, I know Rogan is getting taken care of, and he's banking, and he's because there's no way you're going to get him out of the couch for anything less than meaningful. Between his Spotify deal and like, dude, he never has to do anything again for the rest of his life.
Not at all.
He just can't stop doing things.
that getting a word with McGregor after he like snaps his ankle.
Oh god, yeah.
That's funny, man. I saw a hilarious picture that said like nothing's gonna stop Rogan from getting his fucking interview.
No, cops down and sits with him. That's great. I gotta give it to McGregor though. I don't always love him because I think sometimes he's a bit bad for the sport because I'm more of a traditional martial artist with a bit of respect and dignity goes a long way. But dude, he was sitting down there talking with a pretty beat up leg and foot, man. He needed some plates and screws and shimmies and stuff in there. That was a big old mess. And if you remember, Whiteman and Anderson Silva, they were screaming, carried out on stretchers, man.
Oh fuck, dude. It's so brutal to see. That ankle just looked like that hurt my fucking ankle just looking at it, dude.
Oh yeah, we get one of those probably a year, and I think it's going to get worse. Actually, I know this hasn't been talked about a lot, but we're getting way more efficient at checking kicks and stuff like that. So the leg kicks I think are going to go away. And another thing that I've seen a lot more of is the liver hand, the elbow digging into the foot has become a pretty brutal thing too. Yes. I think we're going to see more of those accidental breaks that are not accidents at all. Because when you check a kick, if you check it right, you're playing chess when he's playing checkers. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. That low part of the shin competing with right under the knee. I don't care who you are. Big you kick me. My top of my shin against your low chin, you're losing. Even with all your bone density. There's no way to win that fight.
No. Oh, goddamn. And then you have these cats that literally kick the edge of the walls and break their shins on purpose just so it builds back thicker. And oh my God, dude, that's brutal.
All those Thai fighters kicking those banana trees. Yeah. Holy crap. I trained with Thai fighters, and I'm like, I remember checking in a way that I'm like, I almost wanted to check to make sure that they're all right, because I felt that that's not going to feel good at the very least. And they just look at me like, what? I'm good. Just keep going, man. And I'm like, all right. Damn.
Yeah, you know, I totally agree with you too. Like with the McGregor thing, that's why it's so polarizing. But I feel like when you look at certain people, it's kind of like UFC, I feel, is kind of heading into that territory of like being more entertainment than it ever was. And I always compared, let's look at Rousey versus McGregor. She lost 2 fights. And her career was basically fucking decided after the first loss. You're done. 2 years unbeaten, loses 1 fight, and they're talking like she ain't coming back. She comes back, loses again, and then it's basically like she don't exist. Yeah. She always came out so robotic. You know what I mean? And you know, and then you got someone with a personality like McGregor, where it's like he's entertaining as shit because he gets like you need to have something to fall back on. If you take a couple losses, he's lost a number of times. He's not done by any stretch of the imagination because he's putting asses in seats because some people just want to see him get knocked the fuck out. And then you look at Derek Lewis, who's hilarious, and you know he's entertaining as shit. So it's like we're starting to get more and more people that you know.
It's that WWE thing happening.
It is, you know. It is. I you know, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's almost grooming themselves to go there after the fact when it's said and done and have that to fall back on because it's like, well, shit, he's entertaining. Fuck, bring him on. You know, we'll pay millions of dollars to talk some shit and then fake fight, right? You know?
That's like GSP when he was fighting because he won so many decision fights. Nobody mentions him anymore in the best pound for pound fighter. And in all truth, he probably is.
Right.
I don't see how you argue it. Like, you put him on his back, he gets up. You put him on top of you, you don't get up. You stand up with him, he'll mix it up and outpoint you the whole way through. I don't see how he's not at least mentioned in the conversation.
Right. I feel that way about someone I met a couple times that I have the utmost respect for, fellow Canadian George Chuvalo.
Yeah,
he fucking had the decision against him, obviously, because back in the day, especially, you know, Muhammad Ali is everyone's boy. Yeah, but Muhammad goes to, you know, Ali's in the hospital pissing blood. He's out dancing with his wife after the fight, and Ali's saying he's the toughest dude I ever fought. No, I don't want to fight him again. You know, like, why is he not talked about as much as he should be? Like, you know what I mean? He's a badass dude. Like, the only guy that Muhammad Ali could not knock off his feet. Like that, to me, that counts for plenty. You know what I mean?
Counts a lot.
Yeah, that's saying a lot. And then when I mention his name, a lot of people are like, who?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
I'm already there with MMA. You know, I'm happy. I have a panel with my commentators, and Steve LaFrate was my understudy. Got his black belt from me and Mark Tripp in judo and jiu-jitsu. And then Josh Johnson is more of a younger 30s, you know, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So we have the spectrum, but I'll tell you, we have had people come in and guest, and I've mentioned names of people that blaze the trail he's walking, and they don't know who they are. I'm sorry, man. That would be like you saying, you know, Al Pacino, and I go, who?
Right.
So was he an actor? You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that.
Right.
What is that?
Or, you know, or being like, who's Hoist Gracie? Like, what? What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. Don't talk to me about being a fan and shit if you don't know who the legends are.
The original champion.
You know.
Christ.
Fuck me.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you. So at the time, I repped Sweden in judo for a bunch of years, and I move here. I train under Mark Tripp, and I go from being mediocre on the ground to pretty damn solid. And I go Hoist has a training camp at a gym. I'm there, and he's getting ready to fight Yoshida. And he essentially says, I heard you're really good at judo. So I want to roll with you after we're done. So we do the whole seminar, 3 hours. And then afterwards, he wants to roll. So we wait for everybody to leave because he's not a show off, even though people think he is. He's a cool, actually really respectful dude. And so we're rolling. I cartwheeled him into the mat almost every time we started from standing, but I literally swear I never tapped him once. And every single time, in anywhere from 30 seconds to about 7 minutes,
All right, let's take a pause for the cause here for a second and pay some bills and talk about our sponsors.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tattness, and whether you're a fan of my show, some of my movies, maybe you see me on TV, or my other bodies of work, either way, I appreciate it so much that I want to give back to y'all, man. I want to give you something in return for all your years of support. I want to help you trim your bush. I mean, not me personally, but me and help from my friends. That's not making this better, is it? What I mean is, I want to give you a promo code to save money on the equipment to trim your bush. You believe me, right? Okay, moving on. Look, man, I get it. I'm just like you. There's nothing that makes me more nervous than the idea of taking some sharp objects near Stiff Willie and his backup singer's ball and scrotes. But thanks to Smooth My Balls, you don't have to worry anymore. You don't have to be sweating profusely and looking like the typical bomb diffuser from every action movie ever who forgot whether or not you cut the red or the green wire. Instead, you can grab yourself the turf chopper and you can mow that lawn with the confidence of a veteran landscaper on the back of the John Deere. We're all bros here, so I'm going to give it to you straight. The 70s are over, and with that died the trend of the big bush. It is now 2021, and yeah, we got some trends, man, but there's a reason why Netflix and didn't quite catch on, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're dating a dental assistant, she probably doesn't want to floss on the first date, you know? So you're probably wondering, what's in it for me? Why am I being so giving to your groin? Well, there is a mutual benefit here to both of us. See, you use my promo codes, you get a discount, you get great products, and I get a kickback from Smooth My Balls. So basically, I get a kickback, you don't get a nick sack. You know what I'm saying? All I'm asking of you guys is to think of me the next time you give your old George W. a trim. Go to smoothmyballs.com, and whatever you order, with every order, use the promo code TATNESS, all lowercase, because size doesn't matter. Don't act like nobody's reassured you of that before. Come on now.
I was like, damn, that just changed my whole approach with my training because I thought I could be good enough on the ground. And I'm like, this dude is not even punching, and I can't stop the tap. And that's after I bomb him into the ground.
Fuck.
That's how good he was. That guy's on a whole different level. Back in the day, obviously now everything has evolved. Right. But man, oh man, that was a brutal, eye-opening experience for sure.
I remember when Ron Russell fucking on his show told me, I think what you do is barbaric. I'm like, you should have fucking seen it when there was only 2 rules, bro.
I remember when, before they said the spear 12 to 6 elbow, that's how you fought wrestlers. You single leg sprawled and you drove that freaking elbow to the back of the head or spine. I'm like, what were we doing, man? This is crazy.
You know, it's... Fuck, man, it's definitely changed.
For the better, though.
Yeah,
I mean, really, because that was insane. I mean, think about what's the guy, the big judo guy who fought in his gi that elbowed the guy halfway to death after he bombed him into the ground. Dude, like that could have ended in death.
Yeah.
And we've had enough of those crazy Tank Abbott knockouts where you're like, oh my God, is he alive? You know what I mean?
Right. This shit has evolved so much because there was a time where it's like, you know, fucking no gouging eyes out, don't bite each other, otherwise you're good.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck that.
Then slowly but surely, you can't attack the crowd, can't stick fingers into orifices. Slowly but surely. I remember when you could literally break a finger off somebody because you could just grab one finger and just snap it.
Yeah, so he's like, I think what you do is barbaric. I'm like, this is fucking civilized compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, you should have watched it 20 years ago. Now,
right.
That was a mess.
We're acting like we got some manners now, bro.
Yeah, no, dude, my first 3 fights were in Denmark and Germany. The cage was square. It was literally the same fence you have for your property, which cuts your back bad.
Oh, yeah.
And it was on puzzle mats. You know what I mean? I don't know about you, but I'm a thrower. If I throw you on any kind of surface that's hard, it's over. Like, I've knocked people out with throws so many times in my life, it's not even funny. This new springy thing saves people a lot, but, like, those puzzle mats, that was murder. I mean, it just falling back and hitting your head could have ended you.
Yeah, for sure.
Back then.
That would scramble your shit pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I try so hard, dude, to stay off of social media comment sections because there's so many of these like armchair athlete motherfuckers, these peckerheads that are like, oh, McGregor's like such a pussy, blah blah blah. Like, really, dude? When was your last fight, motherfucker?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, in kindergarten, and the girl won.
Right. You know, this dickhead's sitting there like, you know, 100 pounds overweight, eating a bag of Cheetos, talking shit about how, you know, he's going to get his ass kicked. It's like, dude, come on. Until you've done it, you cannot say shit.
Yeah, and the people that are like, oh, man, he took a dive. And I'm like, do you know how hard it is to take a dive? Like, that's not like that easy. In boxing, maybe, because you can take that. But, like, in 4 ounce glove, taking a dive means getting knocked out.
Yeah. If I was ever to take a dive, I'm not fucking snapping my ankle in 47 ways just to fucking make it look good.
No, you know what I'm doing? I'm tapping to a rear naked choke.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
You know? Oh, and that's the other thing that really fucking pisses me off is you'll hear people talking shit about, oh, they tapped like a bitch, blah, blah, blah. Like, I would have just held on. It's like, okay. First of all, if that motherfucker lets someone break his arm rather than tap, his career's done. Because MMA moves so quickly. While you're off recovering, there's not a place for you to come back anymore because people have forgotten.
It's hard.
It's fickle. And people have forgotten about you by this point, and it's on to the next person, right?
Yeah.
You know, and like, why would someone ruin their career just to not lose a fight that they're going to lose anyway?
Dude. I understand not tapping for a choke because if you're an athlete, that's pretty safe. You're gonna take a little nap and you'll be fine. But if we're talking a break, you tap, dude.
Yeah,
you tap in a heartbeat. If you don't, you're not gonna pay your bills for quite a while. I mean, I think about people like Corey Hill. After his leg break, he never came back. Weidman just recently came back, and he's a shadow of himself. And I'm legitimately worried about Conor. You know, if this is going to be boxing from now on, or if he's going to have anything to offer in MMA, because MMA is moving at light speed, and you're not only standing still, you're going backwards. That's just not a winning equation. It's dangerous, man.
Right. And when fucking Lesnar smashed that dude's orbital bone, and he just and never came back. And
no.
That was interesting because Lesnar actually said, I'd like to talk to the dude and let him know, like, you know, see where his head's at, because it was nothing personal. He was just talking shit, saying, I'm going to show this motherfucker that this ain't WWE, this is real.
Yeah.
So he had something to prove and went out and fucking like, yeah, it's real, isn't it, motherfucker?
Yeah.
But you know, it's like...
He's a beast, dude.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Have you seen him in person? He's a giant. He's not even real.
There could be a fucking grizzly bear in front of him and you wouldn't see the bear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, legitimately, like I've been down to so many training camps, training with these cats, people don't even understand how big these guys are, because they'll hear, oh, he's fighting at 185 pounds, and they think of their own sloppy ass 185 pounds sitting in the couch eating Cheetos. They don't understand the 185 pound guy has a walking weight of 220 pounds at least, and then he cuts and gets to 185, this close to fucking dying. Then they put everything back in them a few hours later after they had their IVs and stuff. They do the fake weigh-in, the one that you see on TV where they're like looking almost normal. But that's not how it works. Like, you're half dead weighing in.
Yeah, that's the worst part is, oh, fuck. But yeah, he's a badass motherfucker to go through.
He cuts to get to 265. Right. He cuts 35 pounds out of his walking weight.
And he sweats like a bastard too, man, like by the bucket load. You see him train and there's just immediate pop.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking have a water jug full of electrolytes just because. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, he runs through it, man.
Hey, I seen that dude sweat more than people piss when they went through a drinking binge, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, yeah, dude, he's something else.
He's a fucking animal. What do you think of these cats that think they can just go from like pro wrestling into doing that shit? Because it's very rare that they pull it off. He's an exception.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Well, I think the thing that people don't realize with Brock is he didn't do that. He was a world-class Olympic wrestler first. And in all honesty, if I said, what is the best base I could possibly have going into MMA, even as effective as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is, I would still say wrestling. Because whoever dictates where the fight takes place wins 90% of the time. And it doesn't even mean that you have to take somebody down, but you have to honor it. I always tell people, Dan Henderson started losing because he stopped wrestling. Because the minute you could go into a striking match with him, you may beat him because you might stay away from that big old overhand. But the minute he starts taking you down, now you have to be light on your feet. Now you have no power, and now you might take that H-bomb and go take a nap.
And that's what it always comes down to, is trying to keep it in your element.
Yep.
Look at Rousey. What happened when she let it go from what she does best to trying to throw hands with Holly Holm? Like that's a lose-lose situation every fucking time.
Yeah, and then Frankenstein. I'm like, dude, Ronda, how do you not have a shot? Like, you got to have at least a shot. You can't Frankenstein your way into a clinch every time.
No. You're telegraphing everything, and a boxer's just going to knock you the fuck out, Yeah.
It's just I ended up with an undefeated record, but my worst fight was against the boxer who angled. Because my early days, I did not have a shot. I'm a judoka like her. So I relied on clinch, and this boxer knew. So he was like, I'm not going to let him grab me ever. So he was like literally jabbing me to death and just angling off continuously. And I was getting beat up, man. I was bad. And eventually I got a hold of him, and, I hit him with the planet, and I made him go night-night. But it took a long time, and I was ugly after that because my face was full of knots. I took like a literal beating. Like, if you met us the day after and they said who won, who lost, nobody would have thought I won that fight because he didn't have a mark on him. And I looked like I got like some bad knotted disease on my face. I was full of hematomas, man.
Oh,
that was brutal.
I love that kind of shit though, because that's a patience game on both people's part. You know what I mean? You got to wait it out for the right opportunity. He's keeping you at bay with the jabs, that's not going to knock somebody out, but it's getting the job done. And it could get you a decision if things go your way. But, that's a strategic game, man. I love that kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. That's why that's why I appreciated GSP so much, is you can be mad at GSP, but if you're going to be mad at anyone, be mad at the rules.
Right.
Because he is playing the game according to the rules at the highest level possible. that, like, you can't be mad at that. Like, do you want to be mad at? It's like being mad at the Pittsburgh Steelers for running the ball. You know what I mean? That's what they're going to do. If you're watching the Pittsburgh Steelers and you think they're going to throw for 500 yards, it ain't happening. No. You know what I mean? That's Detroit Lions being down 24, throwing the ball the whole game. Yeah, you're going to see that.
That's exactly. Fuck me. Now, what do you think of? I always like to know people's perspective because, like, I'll get opinions from fans and whatever, but it's always nice to have an insider's perspective because I have my thoughts on the shit.
Yeah.
When Rousey lost her first fight, and then when she starts coming back for another one, what did you think of the way they like advertised that? Because it was so one-sided. It was like they overlooked everything but Rousey, and like they're spending all this money on like some big Hollywood looking fucking trailer for her comeback, and it's like,
yeah,
it's like, y'all know who she's against, right? She ain't no joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just overlooked and disrespected her in my view.
Yeah.
And then,
well, especially for anybody on the inside of the sport, Holm is a legit, like, she is a legit one of the best at this. And she's done it at several weight classes. You can't deny it. But I think it's about marketing. I think it's one of them things. I've seen a lot of movies where they take whoever, fill in the blanks, and he's the star and he's the bankable name, and they drive the hell out of it. But then I watched the movie, and there are two guys that, in my opinion, stole the whole show. Yeah. I see that all the time. And it's kind of the same thing. You know, I get it. I mean, we bank on what's bankable, and Rousey was bankable. I mean, she was in the same boat as the Conor McGregor. Either you loved her or you loved to hate her. It was one of the two. And I think McGregor is in that same category where people love him or they love to hate him.
Exactly. I think in this case, it was Nunes that got the shit end of that stick because they didn't.
She's such a badass, dude.
Right, and they overlooked her. Like, they didn't advertise, like, you know, her video packages and bullshit just didn't exist. There's no fucking her training. It's all Rousey's coming back. Okay, well, she just lost her last fucking fight.
Yeah.
Why are we, like, because she's doing movies now, we're going to throw all this budget into her comeback? Like, fucking, this is Hollywood now? It didn't make sense to me.
No, they tried to convince, what's her name, Gina Carano to come back. And I'm like, have you seen her? What way, like, no offense, but what weight class would she be in now? She can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, that's not realistic. You know what I mean? Like, she's been out of the game forever. She would not have a chance today on the mats.
No.
Because if you're not, like, I stopped coaching 4 years ago. I stopped renewing my pro card 10 years ago. Dude, if I stepped in on right now, even training, I could get hurt. Legitimately.
Yep.
Like, I could get hurt. So just knowing that, it's like, you can't take years off, not do this, and come back.
Yeah, it's not right.
Somebody was saying that they were talking about Ronda coming back. And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? There's no way that's going to happen.
No.
Like, maybe for a payday. Because there'd be somebody going, you know what? You could probably win this. You know? I got to watch this one. You know?
That one guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? In the basement, hammering away on his keyboard.
Eating.
Mom, give me the meatloaf.
Right.
You know,
fucking meatloaf. As he's eating paste. Yeah, she could win this.
Right.
Yeah, you know, come on, like, dude. You know, she took time off to go work for fucking WWE and
make movies.
Yeah, she's not coming back now.
No.
Now she's like having a kid.
And in all honesty, dude, are your joints are they always screaming at some level to you?
My ankle is the worst. Yeah.
Like, literally, for me, it's like I'll go out for a jog, and like I'm like, that's fine. And literally, the night before I go to bed, I'm like, like, dude, I just ran 3 miles. Like, what the hell's wrong with me? And I think to myself, oh, yeah, I've been getting in the cage with people for 30 years, beating the bricks off of each other. Yeah, my body's probably pretty up at this point.
Yeah, you know, you always get that reminder after so often what you've done with your life.
Yeah, man, it's a fun equation that works out for quite a while. But man, oh man, those joints aren't the happiest campers anymore. That's for sure.
Oh, I know. I just did a leg day today, and like I always try to make it a point to do like the leg extensions first, just to kind of lube up the joints before doing squats. It's just little things, right? Fuck, because I do stupid amounts of weight when I go on hard on leg day, and it's like, okay, you know, in the long run, the joints, you know, they don't like that.
But it is smart because keeping those muscles engaged and active will actually delay all the problems that come eventually from athletics. You know, the longer you stay active, the more, because I can tell you, the more active I am, the less I feel them. So I know for a fact that it's like somebody was talking about that if you ground a plane or a boat versus using it falls apart like 3 or 4 times faster when you don't use it. And I think to myself, that's crazy, but it works the same way with our bodies. If you don't use it, you lose it. Your body's so efficient that I mean, I think about little, and I don't want to geek out on this, but your capillaries that transport the nutrients, your body starts shutting those fuckers down in like 24, 48 hours if you don't use them. They start saying, you don't need 7. I'm going to give you 3. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it works, because that's all you're using is 3. And then you have to do it again and break through and push your body beyond. And your body's going to say, dude, if you're going to do that shit, I'm going to put 5 more back in place. But that's how it works. If you don't use it, it goes away, man. And you know what I'm talking about. But that's how efficient and incredible our body is.
Absolutely. Like I always say, motion is the lotion, brother. I mean, like,
amen.
You know, and there's this dude, we were talking today about it at the gym that I see every fucking day is chest day for this dude. And in 3 years, he looks the same as he always has. I'm like, it's called a rest day, bro. Like, you can't fucking do this and expect results.
Nope.
I don't get it. I really don't. And it's like, you would think after 3 years of seeing yourself do the same routine, and
there would be an awakening.
There would be like some epiphany has to happen here.
You know what the guy's going to say though? Hey man, it's my genetics. That's what he's going to say.
I guarantee it. And then he's going to be the guy that says, and I think Rousey's got a chance.
Yes. As he hammers away, Meatloaf.
Right, you know, I'm like, come on, dude. There's a reason why you look like you got, you know, women titties there. Like, if it's not changing, maybe change your approach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That's insanity, doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Right, and then this motherfucker's looking at everyone else with dirty looks, and it's like, it's not them.
He's like, you're on steroids.
Oh, of course. It's always, you know, if you've been doing this for years and you eat clean and you take care of yourself, you must be on something, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, trust me, dude, you can tell the difference between someone on steroids and somebody who's not. Pretty quickly, you know? Yeah.
I always think about those guys when you go train and roll with people, and you see people like I don't know why Randy Couture always comes to mind, but Randy is he don't look all that different now. He like literally this dude he's a brick. He's a human brick. Has always been, will probably always be.
I love it. I mean, that shows, you know, age is something that most of us, we don't get a choice on that. It's going to happen. Some people go pretty fucking soon and early, unfortunately. Yeah. But, you know, I always said, like, if you got to get old, you got to get old. But what shape you're in, that's up to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you take care of yourself, look at guys, like, in their 70s. Look at Stallone right now.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter what age he is. He's fucking in great shape, and he's still doing his thing. Like, you would think he was like 45 or some shit. That's a choice. You know, we could take care of ourselves, and you know, I couldn't imagine ever not going to the gym anymore. Like that. Well, then what the fuck am I gonna do?
Yeah. No.
That's my therapy, man. If I don't have that,
yeah,
I'm choking like 5 or 6 people a day. Then.
Yeah. No. I think the whole gym or not, I think is mostly it's about moving to me.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that I think most people stop doing is they stop moving.
Yep.
And suddenly, you're sitting around and you got a flat ass and you got flabby this and it happens because your body's going to say, the hell am I carrying around this extra muscle for? You're not using it. Exactly. So that's the thing. Go use your stuff, man. Keep it alive and it'll keep you alive.
Exactly. I always hate that excuse of like, oh, at my age, no. You let yourself get to that point because somewhere down the line you decided everything else is priority over taking care of yourself, and that's bullshit.
Yeah.
People aren't accountable for their choices these days. They think age, oh, well, when I was, this age, it's like you could still be fucking what you say you were if you wanted to be, but somewhere down the line you gave up on it,
Yeah. Yeah, it is a tricky thing because everybody doesn't want to be a fitness model. But to me, it's like if you can't function on a proper level, like I read a study from, I think it's Peru, where they can, this doctor said, however many points touches the floor for you to get from seated to standing will indicate how much longer you have left to live. And I was like, what? And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. If you have to put a knee down, a foot to a knee, to a hand, like the more you need to get to where you need to be, the less efficient your body is at life.
It's true.
So, you know what? I'm like, dude, you know what? At first, that sounded crazy, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense.
Yeah.
And they said they can predict life expectancy by over 90% with this silly method of how many points touches the ground for you to get from seated to standing. So, I'm like, damn.
So
blew my mind.
If you need a forklift to help you get down to the floor, you're probably gone.
Probably over.
Yeah, you probably got a week or so left.
Yeah. You might as well get the meatloaf now.
Right. No point in skipping dessert at this point. Fuck.
That's funny.
Oh my God. Yeah, that does make sense. That's actually an interesting concept. I never thought of that.
And it sounds crazy at first, but then you go, you know what? That makes fucking sense.
Yeah, and then you get into all these like fad diets too, which that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
All these people that think that, what's the big one that really fucking gets to me is keto. Oh my God.
Oh God.
That is not sustainable, man.
No, and it's not science either, because your body burns glycogen as its number one fuel. So if you eat that kind of thing, you're going to lose a ton of muscle. You're going to lose all the tissue that you need. You're going to lose a shitload of water. And you're going to be like, yay, I lost 20 pounds of metabolism. You lost 20 pounds of metabolism.
Every time.
Good job.
Guess
what's going to happen when you get off of that?
And then
it's called the balloon.
Right.
The balloon is the sequel to the keto.
Like that's exactly it. And no one wants to hear it though. Like you try.
No, because it's an easy way to shake 20 pounds.
Right. And
they would rather just keep doing that on repeat.
And then these fuckers that try to tell you, oh, red meat's not good for you. Like, are you kidding me? Red meat is like the fucking one meat that you could thrive off of for life because it has all these vitamins and minerals and shit. It's like it has nothing to do with your cholesterol. The fucking red meat that your cholesterol is getting spiked by is all that processed bullshit you're getting at McDonald's.
Yeah,
that's not the deal.
No, nobody knows how to separate any of that stuff. It's just easier to say fat's bad, and it's like, but is it though?
Right.
What fat's bad? and what fat's good. Let's talk about this. All fat's not created equal. All carbs aren't created equal. You know, let's break things down here and look at each thing and what it does. Most people have no clue.
No, that's just it, right? And then when you try to educate them, they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. Like,
I don't even try. Like, you know, I can't tell you how many times somebody will like email me and be like, hey, check out my short film. And it's like 3 guys who probably never took a acting class or a directing class in their life. And they did something where they were like, yeah, high-fiving each other. And they're all happy about it. And that's cool. But don't ask me what I think of it. Just don't. Because guess what I'm going to say? It looks like you guys had a blast making it. That's what I'm going to say. Because, like, what am I supposed to say?
I mean, you obviously don't feel like you're getting your Oscar on the top of a mountain is threatened by them, so.
No, but it's just funny because, like, there's no way that, you know, when I played my Gus Macker in 97, I didn't call up Michael Jordan, and not that I'm Michael Jordan, but like Scottie Pippen. I didn't call Scottie Pippen and say, hey, man, I send you some tape from my last Gus Macker. Do me a favor and let me know what you think how I did. And he's like, yeah, after I look at all the other 5,000 people who sent me their Gus Macker thing, like, oh, man, why?
You know, and then if you give them the honest answer, they're going to be like,
I always say, do you really what do you want to know? Like, what do you want from this? Like, what is your goal? Do you want to feel better about what you're doing? Or do you want constructive criticism? Do you want honesty? Like, what do you want?
Because then you're going to end up getting, that guy's a dick. You know?
No, I mean, I try not to formulate things that negatively to begin with, but there are some of these things, the assumption that I have the time to sit and watch all these people's demo reels and scenes and short films and whatever else, and sadly, most of them are beginners, which means the advice that I can probably provide is probably not even at a place that you can. Remember how when we talked earlier about acting, that we both had acting lessons that we were told that when we heard it, we were like, yeah. But we didn't really get it. And then 6 months later, you're in a scene and it happens. So you go, oh, that's it. That's how I feel the conversation is, where, you know, I'm probably going to upset you because I'm going to tell you that you need an acting coach. I'm going to tell you that you would never ask me to be on my NBA team if you just played your last Gus Macker and you scored 4 points. Like, it's just pretty rough to have those conversations because most people aren't aware of where they are. They don't understand, where the place is right now. And I remember that at my very old place of business, they always said, act your wage, which I thought was hilarious. But like the top sales guys, they could talk all the shit they wanted. And if you're not on the top 10, you shut the hell up and you listen to these guys.
Right.
That's just how it is.
Absolutely. And I totally relate to that because I've had a string of people that think that I got all this time to like give them like meal plans and advice or training and all this bullshit. And I'm like, you're not going to do none of this shit because it's not.
Well, not only that, but how long did it take you to acquire this knowledge?
Right.
Years and years and years.
Right. Because I didn't have anybody.
So if somebody wants that information, have the decency and respect to offer something in trade of that.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And then you can be the good guy and say, hey, I'm good, man. But if you take it that seriously, here's what I can do.
Right.
But most people, it's like they don't even, it doesn't cross their mind because it's everything is in their bubble, on their circle, on their circumstances. And it's a funny thing because you don't want to be the dickhead who helps them understand it either. Because that's an aha moment that nobody wants. and it's a lot easier to just blame the guy who woke him up than it is to look at yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, you know what? I'm an idiot. I tried to get in on a big production with a bunch of star talent. I've never taken an acting class in my day. I've been in one short film that did shit. And here I am knocking on the door like an idiot. They don't think about it like that. They think about it like, oh my God, you're fooling yourself.
Right. You know,
how have I not gotten a role with you, man? I auditioned 3 times. Yeah, we had 25 speaking roles, 740 auditions. That's how. It's that, like, do the math, buddy. Like, this is not like I can't give everybody a role.
No, that's exactly it. Everybody wants handouts, and you know, and then even with training people, it's like everybody thinks because, oh well, now I know you're gonna let me in on the secret way of doing things. Like, it's called hard work, motherfucker. There's no secret way.
Yeah.
You know?
Here's the secret. You bust your ass all the time. You literally never stop working.
That's it. You know, and I've had people, I'll give them the meal plan, and I'm like, I know it's very limiting, but if you want fast results and really good results, then this is what you're going to do. And then they'll be like, okay, so what if I switch this with this and this with this? I'm like, then you're not fucking listening.
Yeah. I thought you came and asked me questions. Right. So why are you talking again? At this point, you should be taking notes.
You know, like, don't ask me if you can substitute your rice for fries, bro. Like, it's not fucking how this works.
Oh my God.
Like steak. Can I have a burger instead? Yeah, whatever. Go fucking have your burger. I don't care anymore. Like, you've just shown me your level of commitment.
And then you're the bad guy.
Right. You know, so I fired off in an email. I'm like, here's the list. Do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. And my favorite is when they substitute everything. It's like when you get a recipe or something off of the internet and somebody in the comments said, this recipe sucks. I substituted 7 things in it. How do you know the recipe sucks when you've changed it all? You know, so this fucking meal plan don't work. Well, what did you do? I changed like 55% of it, you know? Okay.
Yeah.
How's that on the fucking meal plans? Like, you know, how is it?
Yeah.
Fault?
No shit.
Jesus. I don't.
That's the thing. I saw a video that's called the Death of Information or something like that. And it's so true. We're at a place right now where we'd rather, if somebody says what we want, we don't even care if they can back it up. That's what I want. He's right. It's like, well, what about all those people? They're not right. No. But that's science. Oh, no. No, this guy's right because he says what I want.
There you go. You see, you could never make a movie called The Death of Common Sense because it'd be too graphic.
Oh, man, it would be. Oh, my God. Like, I have a friend of mine who just sent me a script. He's making a conspiracy theory film. And we talked about it on a few sets of mine. He worked with us as an AC. And when he told me the idea, it's brilliant. And I literally can't wait to read it. But it's about because the whole thing of conspiracies, and I understand that there have been things that we didn't know that seemed like wasn't true that we later found out was true. But what we don't find is that you continuously change the finish line and the sport and the activity and the people participating to fit your goal, and you just pretend it didn't happen. That can't happen. We have to have at least intelligent conversation where I can be proven right or wrong. We have to at least decide that 1 + 1 is 2 always, and 2 + 2 is 4 always. If we can't agree on those things, then we can't have a conversation. And that's where we are at in most of the world right now, is we have 2 sets of truths.
Yes.
And it's like, you can't.
Right.
People... And if it is a conspiracy, then more than likely we will never know, because it probably wasn't what you said it was. Usually what happens is we later find out, see Epstein or whatever it is, we find out they go to jail, bad things happen, whether it's suicide or murder, that has nothing to do with it. But he got caught. his girl get caught. They get caught. This is what happens if you let enough time transpire, is we will find out. You can't just say, oh, no. So I know that it wasn't said originally it was supposed to be, but we misinterpreted that, and now we move the goal line another 10 feet. No, we can't do that. It has to either be these are the rules or they're not the rules.
You're absolutely right. And I feel like there's way too many people, especially these days, that I think it just goes to show the lack of character in people that want to change a narrative just to try to be right.
Yeah.
That's such a hollow win because it's not a real win. It's like you had to, eliminate facts and, and manipulate the truth to feel like you're right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it happens on both far sides of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
That the thing is that the two loud minorities on the far right and far left are both crazy, and they both use narration that's not true to drive their agenda. And sadly, a lot of people are easy to influence, so they get sucked out to these sides, and then it's hard to get them back. I used to think, like, how do ISIS, for instance, get people to lose their mind and go out there and kill people in the name of something that they don't even know? And then I think to myself, you know what? I'm seeing it now. This is how it happens. All you need to say what people want, and they're going to follow you because they want it so badly. We had a local filmmaker here in town who, like, literally was selling roles, casting things, cutting people out, moving the needle, like absolute scam artist. But each time he talked to a new person, he made them feel like they could break through with him. All they had to do was their part. And by the way, here's the check. And he would just keep milking this system because people want to hear what they want to hear, man.
That's exactly how pyramid schemes are so successful these days.
Yep.
There's so many people, you can't tell them shit because you're like, you call it a pyramid scheme. It's not their business, but they're on social media saying, oh, my business. No, fool. The person that owns that business is laughing at you because you're just a sucker that, you get to convince yourself you have your own business and you're your own boss. No, you're the puppet that just bought shit product for way too much money, and now if your friends aren't interested in falling for it, you're screwed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's selling them this idea of financial independence, and
that's exactly it.
It's so true that is so predominant these days.
Yeah,
and there's so many
people want the easy fix. They don't want the hard work. They don't want the grind. Like, I think about my journey as a filmmaker started 6 years ago. The first 3 short films I did, we self-funded, me and my partner, Walbert, and my wife. We've self-funded them. We self-funded our first feature film just to make sure that when we started asking people for money, we knew what the hell we were doing, and we could look back at this and say, this is what we made. This is what we've done. We worked our asses off to be able to go in front of people. And now I get people that are like, man, you're lucky. You have people investing in your movies. I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking lucky. I busted my ass to get here. I spent my own money on, and I still to this day reinvest over and over again. There's no luck with this. It's a grind, dude. I work my ass off.
I fucking love that because I've heard that so many damn times to the point where you're lucky is now like spitting in my face because
oh my God, yeah.
It's like
I always think about it like this. I moved here in my mid-20s. I don't have high school friends and college friends and kindergarten and sports teams friends. I don't have that. And I'm still with my circle able to build budget after budget after budget because I bust my ass. If I had your network who lived here your whole damn life with all these circles, I would have ran 50 laps around you by the time you made one.
Exactly.
Like, there's no luck. I busted my ass for every damn thing I have.
Exactly. It's like people will treat it like you won the lottery, and it's like, do you have any idea how much sacrifice and putting yourself out there and, you know, risking rejection and fucking everything in between, losing everything.
Yeah, man.
You know, not doing a 9 to 5 because you got to chase this. You know what I mean? There's so many things people don't factor in. Mm-hmm. And then to be like, yo, you're so lucky because you know this person and you know that person. No, motherfucker, I'm fortunate. I'll be the first to admit I'm fortunate that I get to say that, you know, but luck had nothing to fucking do with it. I just didn't quit.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm sure to some degree luck plays a part, but that's not why I'm here.
Right.
It's not why, like, you and I aren't talking because we both got lucky.
Right.
You know, that's not why we're here having a conversation. And the funny thing is, too, I haven't done anything yet. When I think about, like, where I see myself going, I barely scratched the surface of where I'm going.
I love that. That's how
and I speak that into existence with everything I do because I know how it works. I have to earn it long before I get it.
You know, that's just it. And I'm the same exact way. I'm sure and any amount of people could probably tell you if they had $1 for every time they heard me say, I'm just getting fucking started. You know, it's like I've said before, like I grew up huge, like Nightmare on Elm Street fan. And, you know,
oh, yeah, I love it.
And then the Freddy's Nightmares TV show, I grew up with that shit. I loved it. And now I'm friends with the set designer from 3 and 4 and that did the show and everything else. We're doing a show together, actually co-hosting a show and
that's
shit like
awesome.
that. And I'm friends with Ken Sagos from Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4 and other people and shit. And I'm like, that's a trip. And I'm fortunate to be able to say that, but I didn't just wake up one day and they all of a sudden
no.
gave a fuck who I was.
It's a series of events that got you there.
Right.
And if you skipped a bunch of steps because you didn't want to follow the meal plan, you wouldn't be there today.
Right. You know, and I'm like, as cool as all that is, and all the other people I could say I know and get to work with and shit, that's great. But I'm fucking just getting started because I'm having the time of my fucking life. And I don't look at anything with like an end goal because it's like, once you stop doing shit, you might as well just drop dead, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Life,
it's the journey.
Yeah. Always. I mean, life is for people that want to live it, man, not sit back and watch other people live. So, you know, it's really cool. And it just makes me look forward to what's next and who I might meet next and who I might get to work with. And, but I certainly didn't wake up one day and they all of a sudden gave a shit who I was just because, you know, like they were in a good mood one day or something. Like I didn't do fucking anything. They didn't discover.
Yeah, I hope I'll get lucky today and get something happen in my life. No.
Right.
You go out and place yourself. You're Canadians. You know Dominic Hasek.
Yeah.
Dominic Hasek said it takes being really good to be lucky because it doesn't matter if you're lucky if you're not good because you won't even be in a position to be lucky. He's like, the reason I can save this goal is because I was in the right position. And then, yes, I got lucky. But that's not the whole thing. No. I had to be amazing to even be here. And then I got lucky.
That's exactly it. And people don't get that. Everybody, you know, I think mistakes their envy for luck. Like, why don't I have that kind of luck?
It's an easier way, though, to be okay with personal failures.
Right.
Because it's a lot easier to say, well, it's not my fault. If I had... And that's what I was saying with the investors. I've had so many filmmakers who are like, man, I wish I had like as many wealthy people as you do. Like, what? Like, you lived your whole life here. You went to preppy school and like, what are you talking about? I'm like, don't be giving me less than what I deserve. I earned this. Like, I busted my ass for this. And you just don't have the work ethic to do it.
And that's exactly what that is downplaying, you know, your hard work and what you had to go through to get where you're at, you know, and that's insulting.
Yeah, it's genetics. That's why you're in shape. It's got nothing to do with how you train, right?
Yeah, you know, the 4 hours a day in the gym, you know, for years didn't have anything to do with it. I just got lucky.
Yeah, you got lucky.
But you know, the funny thing is, with all the squats I did today, I think if I had a horseshoe up my ass, it would have fell out by now. So, you know, so far, no sign of it.
Can we agree on this as today's fitness tip is do squats?
Yes, absolutely. And
like if you said I'm only gonna do one exercise and that's it, I'd be like, go do squats.
Yep, that growth hormone, man. Whew.
Yes, indeed.
It makes it release, and yeah, dude, that takes it out of you. Holy shit! And when you're 6'5", it's a long way down.
Dude. And do you squat like real squats?
I was getting pretty damn low today, where I'm like,
damn,
fucking sucks, but you know, you got to do it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Don't be that.
That's
fool.
brutal, man. With long limbs like that, I don't even want to think about that.
It sucks so bad. And it's like, don't be that fool that skips leg day though. Squat.
No, that's where all the results lay right there.
Yes, you know, and don't ego lift either. That fucking gets you anywhere.
Yeah, your muscles have no eyes. They can't get impressed with however much you put on.
Right. You don't want to sacrifice form for weight because that's just foolish. No. You know, especially with squats. There's no, you know.
Oh no.
Oof, that don't end well.
No. Yeah, and I always tell people that, and then after you feel like you mastered your squats, go do pistol squats one day, and that'll make you want to retire.
Yeah, that's
pistol squats. I'm like 3 days of not wanting to even. You don't even want to get off the couch. No, because it hurts too much.
You can't anyway, even if you wanted to.
Yeah, walking down the stairs is like ooh ah ee, ooh ah. Yeah, wife going, "How old are you again?"
My advice to people, especially if you're like 6'5" and you got a problem with squats getting low, put a bench there as a marker.
Yeah.
Like when you feel the bench, don't sit on it. Just when you feel it, get the hell back up. You know what I mean? That helps. Because then, you know, eventually, it's like the training wheels. You know what I mean? Eventually you won't need it anymore, but it gets you used to it. And I think that's a good, you know.
I agree.
But I also don't condone ass to grass neither, because that will fuck your knees up eventually.
Oh yeah.
So
not only knees, but you're talking. I always tell people that if you really want to do the best squat possible, have somebody analyze it and have them tell you when. First things first, when your back kips, when the back goes from being arched to natural arch to bobbing and your butt curls under, that's bad. That's bad for your lower back. And then the second thing to look at is if you do a standing leg curl with one leg, wherever that leg ends is about your full range of motion. So if you go beyond that, which is usually about a parallel sit, which is a little bit beyond 90 degrees, right around there, that's proper form. Now, it's going to be individual for every person, how far they go. But generally speaking, that's pretty much it.
Exactly.
Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, that's the thing, too, is the other thing I find people do that is kind of hindering them is don't stop when you get down there.
Oh, yeah.
Keep it moving like fluid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Up and down. And don't lock your knees out when you get up there, because you're taking the stress off the muscle, and you're kind of losing a lot of the benefit.
That's almost like putting the weights down.
Yeah, same thing.
So it's like doing a bicep curl and lifting it and then putting it down and then releasing and then grabbing it again and then lift. Like, that makes no sense.
No, you know, keep it time under tension is so important.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people kind of botch that. And, you know, you want to get that stretch, but don't lock out, because then you're resting. Whether you like to admit it or not, it's a rest period. So.
And it's not great for the bones to all have that pressure without muscular tension either. So not healthy either.
No. And, you know, I see some people, it's hilarious that, like, they're ego lifting because they're throwing their whole body into it. And
you can usually tell who they are because usually their weights are super loud.
Yeah. My favorite.
They'll have dumbbells and they'll go boom with them. And I'm like, yeah, you could have brought them to your legs. You could have set them down, and you maybe making a little bit of noise, but like when you're throwing them off, that's ego.
I literally,
either that or a CrossFit gym.
yeah, I literally saw a guy doing that with 35 pounds, like on a cable.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, really? You're just going to let the cable go? And it's that, hey, look at me fucking mentality.
Wow. Yeah.
My personal favorite, though, that I've seen so far is somebody on the lat pull down standing up with, when they're releasing it, up and down, like their whole body.
Oh, yeah.
Bouncing up and down on the fucking bench. And like, if you got to do that, you're either A, extremely too short for this, or B, that weight is ridiculous for you because you're using your whole body weight to bring it down, and you're standing up as you're letting it go back up. What the fuck are you doing?
It's like all momentum. Good job.
You're like trying to mix squats and lat pull downs at the same time. It doesn't fucking work, dude. It's not innovative. It's stupid. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. That's funny. Man, you could have a whole comedy section of watching people at the gym.
Oh my
There's
God.
so many hilarious people doing so much crazy stuff.
It's so true. Unfortunately, they tend to not like being filmed.
Yeah. That's too bad. It would have made for a fun tape, man. Hidden cameras. Let's bring it back.
Right? Fuck, man. I had Johnny Brennan on my show one time, and he's so damn funny. And that fucking guy. We talked about just about everything, but, like I can go into the gym, and I won't be able to tell you what the fuck I did yesterday at the gym. I lift shit. You know what I mean? This dude, in spite of his lengthy career, like knows his own work word for word, verbatim, like anything I mentioned. This fucking guy knew it.
Wow.
And I'm like, I don't even know what I ate yesterday, bro.
Right. Like I'm a little bit like that because I do things and then I let them go. It's really important until it's done. After that, it gets placed in some kind of cabinet back there, and I don't really know where the hell it is. So the only stuff I keep track of is stuff that I know I'm coming to.
Right, because I'll do that now. Even like there was a time I was doing 4 shows a day, like 4 guests a day. Wow. So I'll look back through some of the shit when people are like, "Oh, you talked to this person." I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah, I did, didn't I?" I'm like, no disrespect to nobody, but
no,
it's just like, dude, it's all a blur. I mean, first year I was over 100 shows in.
Oh wow!
And I remember Angela Joseph coming on and saying, like, dude, your shit is like on steroids. Like fucking 1 year and you're over 100 shows. Like you've got to fucking chill. And I'm like, I'm doing like 4 guests a day because people are booking them with me, and I'm like, okay,
you're like, why not? Like, what the hell am I going to be doing otherwise?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll accommodate everyone. So it's like now I'm doing 4 shows in a fucking day, and each show is like an hour or more. And it's like,
wow.
Dude. And I had Jan Birch on, and he was in his car. And I remember thinking, this poor guy, man, he's sitting in his fucking car because he's like, it's for privacy, right? And I had a guest coming on exactly the hour after him, and he was like, well, we got to do this again, man. I could have talked for a couple more hours. And I'm like, well, shit, man, you're in a fucking car and you're so enthusiastic about, do this further. And he's like, but you got a guest booked immediately. I'm like, yeah, and I got 2 more after that one. Like, fuck.
That's crazy. I don't know if you know, I've worked, Jan is Swedish, just like me, and we worked together on quite a few things, and I don't know if you've seen Tale of Tales yet. I'll go out of my way to say him as Francisco in Tales is the best I ever seen him. The dude is he just feels like the Big Lebowski. Like he's just awesome. He's the dude, the new dude. You got to check him out, man. He is awesome. And I didn't even realize what he was going to do with the character. He did the handlebar mustache, that 70s leather jacket or 90s. I don't know what the hell it is. But, dude, he was incredible. Like, literally blew my mind. And I've worked with him, like, on several projects now. And I'm like, The only thing I would put up against it is we just shot a vampire film together, and we haven't edited any of it yet. We literally just wrapped, but damn, that was incredible. I reunited Jan Birch and Sean Whalen for the first time since they did The People Under the Stairs. So 30 years ago, they worked together on The People Under the Stairs. And then 30 years later, they're on Beneath Us All doing this crazy, epic vampire film. Dude, that was amazing.
Yeah, I love that guy, man. He's great. Yeah, he was like, oh, we got to have some beers sometime. I'm like, fuck yeah, we'll do this again. And have some beers together and fucking, he's awesome. Like, he was great. And it's really funny because we literally talked, I think, the whole time on that show about his work relationship with Wes Craven and how cool that was. And I was sitting there like, dude, I remember watching the trailer on back when we had that Viewer's Choice pay-per-view channel, back when that was a thing still, watching the trailer for People Under the Stairs, dude, like when I was a kid watching this shit.
Yeah.
And here I am talking to you. It's like, that's cool as fuck. It just shows what can happen, right? But he was one of the coolest people, like, for sure.
He's awesome. Like, literally, every time I'm in LA, we hang out. When he's here, we hang out. Like, he's awesome guy to hang out with. Really, really intelligent, but really fun and easygoing at the same time. Knows a lot about a lot of stuff. So you can pretty much talk, like you and I feel like we could have just talked and not ended this thing ever, unless we had to go eat. But that's kind of how I am with Jan. Like, literally, we get on the phone and my wife is like, all right, well, I'm just going to do my thing then, because him and I could literally end up and talking, and that's rare for me. But I love people that talk about vision, ideas, and stuff. I hate the petty stuff like, that guy did that. I just don't have space for that. Right. So whenever I talk with visionaries with ideas, talking about real stuff, it's like, yes, this is what I love.
Yeah, dude, that's I think why we had such a good time too, is we talked about all the stuff that goes into doing movies like that, and how Wes had that vision for it, where he said Wes kind of hid from the execs because he's like, just let me make my fucking movie, piss off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you have to be that way. You have to believe enough in what you're doing. And I thought that was the coolest thing. I've never, unfortunately, had the opportunity to speak with Wes. That would have been great. But Jan was so fucking great, too. And, him and I, it was another one of those. We could go for hours and just fucking shoot shit. And he was funny as hell, too. And
funny.
Yeah, dude. And we were cracking up because, he's like, I was hanging out with these people one time and smoking some shit. And he's like, I won't say what. And I'm like, oh, I got you. And it made me think of that conversation when you mentioned his leather jacket, because my producer and I one time went out for a walk to smoke one, and I started cracking up. And she's like, what the fuck is so funny? Because it's nighttime. And I'm like, I'm out here smoking a joint, wearing a leather jacket at night. I just became that dude the 80s warned me about as a kid, not to talk.
I know. That's what's going to happen when you smoke weed. It's like, oh, man, I'm that guy.
I'm that guy they said to avoid if you see him out there, because apparently in the 80s, there was some belief that people were just going to offer you free drugs like they're out of their fucking mind. Like, that's expensive, bro.
I'm like, no, they want that for themselves.
Yeah, they're not sharing. Like, I came into life way too prepared for offers of free drugs, and nobody's giving me no.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's funny now that it's becoming legal, because it's just funny to see the narrative change, and to see the people who get it and the people who don't get it, and then the variances within each side. But it's like, I always catch myself thinking that, like, that's how you get old. You get old by not understanding change. The minute change becomes, oh man, what is that? Like you start dealing with it with fear or whatever it is. Like it just, how can you still be that way? Like, is that has to be getting old, right?
I agree completely. I feel like that's putting like that time stamp on yourself where it becomes a generational thing. We all were that teenager that got rolled our eyes when your parents said what you're listening to sucks. And we always promised ourselves we're not going to be that parent.
I am, though. That's my first place that I've dated myself is music and to some degree film, because I look back and I'm like, it's hard to beat the 80s with music.
Yes.
Because it's like, I did this with my wife. My wife is younger than I, and I was telling her, and she's like, well, the 90s were good too, and the 2000s weren't that bad, and then it got bad. And I'm like, no. I said, let's do this. Let's go to YouTube. Let's pick a random 80s hits, and let's play 10 songs, and let's see how many of them songs are good. And then let's play random 10 songs from any other decade. And it was like, I was right. There was no doubt about it. It's like the 80s were like 10 good songs. There's not a bad song in the mix. And then on every single other one, it was like, nah, that one, yeah, you're right. And it was like anywhere from 5 to 7 or maybe 8 songs that were good from any other decade. And I'm like, I literally told you so. And now I'm starting to feel like that with movies. The 90s thrillers and the early 2000s horror was amazing. Like when you go back to Along Came a Spider with Morgan Freeman,
yep.
Heat, all those movies. You can't duplicate that now.
I loved
like
Heat.
Those movies were incredible. Primal Fear, whatever else. Like pretty much from 85 to 2006, that span of films are unbelievable. And when you look at whatever the top hits were, they're all good. Now it's like, yeah, it might be the best movie in America by ratings, but it doesn't do nothing for me.
Right. And you know, the funny thing is too, there's a reason behind it that is kind of a glaring, obvious reason. We went from practical effects to like mostly CGI now.
Yep.
And that's so different. And I feel like CGI is like the auto-tune of the music industry, or the movie industry at this point, right? Of the movie industry, it's like CGI is the filler. You know, fuck talent. You know, let's not find a practical way to figure this out, make it work. Let's just throw a computer at it and fucking let it figure it out.
Yeah, and then let's cast the people with the most Instagram followers instead of the best actors. And then let's do a reboot of the same thing we've seen 50 times because we know people, you know, like obviously, what are you going to do? Like this is going to become shit.
Right.
Because there's no original thought in the entire process of things. It's a lot riskier to not do a sequel or reboot or whatever, but at least there's an original thought that goes into the concept of what you create.
Exactly. And I mean, at least you go into it, if it's original and new, there's nothing to compare it to. You know what I mean? There's no standard that it has to meet, because you look at Nightmare on Elm Street, everybody's going to hate it right out the gate because it's not Robert Englund, so fuck it. Like, right out the gate, everyone hates it.
Yeah.
There's those purists that just don't like that to be fucked with. And to this day, one of my all-time favorite movies is Terminator 2, because I feel like they had this great combination of like some CGI but a lot of practical, and that they kind of, you know, merge those two things together, and it still holds up today, you know.
I agree 100%. The way I explain it to my cast and crew is that practical effects will be the meat and potatoes. The CGI is the salt and pepper and garlic and cayenne pepper, and like that's what I use CGI for, is that spice.
A little garnish.
Because there are certain things you literally cannot do without using it. But I will do everything else to make sure that the practical effects, it should be there to enhance the practical effect, right?
Exactly. That's what I think, because I still love cats. Like my buddy Mick Strawn, like I said, did Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4, like the set design. He did the special effects for Blade, for Boogie Nights, stuff like that. And it's like he loves the practical stuff as well, which I love. Joe Castro, another friend of mine that does.
Joe is so good, man.
Oh my god, dude! And
that guy creates the coolest monsters. We should plug him right now. Yes. If you do a monster movie and you don't call Joe Castro, then you're screwing yourself.
Right. He was on my show too. He's great.
Oh my god, he's so good.
Yeah, and Nick Benson's another guy that was on my show that I know. Who did Tremors. That was nuts. I remember watching that as a kid.
That movie was so good back in the day.
Right? And I was like, man, I didn't want to touch the fucking floor after watching that for like a week. I was going from the couch to the coffee table to like fucking parkour, bro. Awesome. So I love the practical stuff. And CGI has its place. But again, you're right, like a garnish, kind of the glue to hold it all together and make it, look seamless. But all this Michael Bay bullshit where, fucking someone's driving to a grocery store. You know what this scene needs? A fucking explosion. Like, that's nuts to me, dude.
And I feel bad for the actors, too, because it's got to be tricky to draw your attention off of nothing half of the time or whatever they're using for eyeline. And it's like, man, oh man, like a practical will allow me to be in it.
Yes.
I don't have to invent what's in front of me. It's in front of me.
Right. That's exactly it. Like, it's got to be so challenging to just pretend something's in front of you and you feel a certain way about it. CGI gets way too overused to a point, right, where it's just like, okay, now it's a crutch. It's not a part of the art form now. It's literally you're trying to use it as the whole fucking thing. And
people go to the movie theater ultimately to watch a story unfold and human relations to form and build and break and whatever else, because we go through it with them. So all those special effects has a tendency to pull us out of it. I love the not all superhero movies, but I still dig the better stuff, from Marvel and even some the DC stuff. But ultimately, sometimes they forget why we're there. We want to see the story unfold. We want to see how they feel about each other. We want our hearts to break with theirs, and we want to feel hope with them. And if you forget that, and it is all Michael Bay explosions, then it's cool, but it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't have any lasting imprint on me whatsoever.
I agree completely, because in my experience, what's the first thing you hear someone say? And no matter how much CGI you throw at it, what's the first thing you hear someone say when they come out of a theater after seeing like a Marvel movie or something? It's always, well, that's not how it was in the comic. You know what I mean? They care about how it follows the comic and how true it is to the story. So that shows what they're paying attention to. It's not all the fancy shit you threw a ton of money at in CGI. They care about the story. They want, they grew up with the comics and followed that story. And if you're kind of, ignoring that or neglecting it, that's the first thing they notice. It's not this $1 million budget fucking, computer generated shit that, you think makes it interesting. It's like, did they follow the story or not? Did they try to create their own? And people get really salty about that. Like, There's a lot of hardcore people out there, man. Fuck.
Yeah, and they will not let you, whatever. I remember when that Spider-Verse, whatever it was, because there were different Spider-Mans. There were some people that were throwing a fit about that. And I'm like, damn, like you guys are hardcore.
Right.
You know, like there's no Gwen Stacy, whatever. Like, okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of that, man. Shit, I feel like I've taken up so much of your fucking time.
I don't even know how long it's been. I'm kind of happy about that, actually.
Oh,
but yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. So before we wrap the shit up, then, so you can fucking do, I'm sure, what you got to do. What's favorite horror movies? If you had to pick 5 of them,
oh man,
any
that's
5
so hard. So I absolutely love The Exorcist, the original one, because that made a big imprint on me.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely love Jaws, even though it's probably not a horror movie. It altered my behavior in my young life. I remember, you know, leaving Sweden, going on vacation. I think I was 17 or 18, going to Florida, and I was out chest deep in water, and I just went, "Oh shit, they have sharks here," and I was like swimming in because in my head there were sharks there, and it impacted me. So that's a big deal. I love Poltergeist. I don't know why it played with my mind. And I remember that scary ass dude coming up to the car window. So that one was really creepy to me. And then you said it, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. I actually made a short film with the premise of the whole awake or not awake, because I think it's so amazing. Anybody who's seen my film Agrimon's Gate, no, I love that premise. I played with that in Agrimon's Gate, and I love that aspect of things because as the audience, you're looking for signs. Is he awake? Is he? Because I got to see, is the reality real or is this like dream reality?
I love that.
I love that because it's such a mind trip. And then let's see, what rough and tough wild ride do I love? There's so many of them, but like, this is hard. I love a lot of the original Halloweens, the original Friday the 13th. I love a lot of those, and I love what came out of those. I actually love the sequel of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought that one was excellently made. And I think there's one called Wolf Creek or something like that I love too. So there it depends on the genre. And then I love the original Psycho. To me is brilliant. It's incredible suspense, holding you on pins and needles for the entire time. And I took a lot of lessons from Alfred Hitchcock when I got into my first horror movie. That was my main focus, is I wanted to make sure that a lot of the people, they chase the death and they want to have a high death count. And I get that. But at the end of the day, the death is not the payoff. The death is the end of suspense and fear.
Exactly.
So you want to draw that out, you want to milk it, and you want to make it feel like he is behind every corner and behind them every time they look in the mirror. Like that's what you want to create, that you want to make them paranoid. And I think Hitchcock did that better than most. So I mean, I don't know if that was 5. I'm terrible at these rankings things, but I'm very influenced by a lot of the greats. But yeah, it's kind of like a mixed bag for me. I love some of the slasher stuff. I love some of the supernatural stuff, but it boils down to effective storytelling. If you can make me believe it, you're going to get me.
I love that because that list is fucking great. Funny fact is the first horror movie I ever saw was Poltergeist when I was a kid.
That old dude is scary as shit for some reason.
That one had a special place for me because of that. Nightmare on Elm Street, of course.
Yeah.
And I count Jaws. I always count Jaws as a horror movie because it fucked a lot of people, you know.
Dude, it's scary as shit, man.
So I always bargain with people. I'm like, all right, let's make a deal. Jaws is a horror movie, but so is Arachnophobia then.
Arachnophobia is awesome though.
Right. And I was like, but that should count too.
It's a horror comedy though.
Right.
Those are hard to pull off, man.
Right. I feel like Evil Dead has to be on my list as well.
Oh yeah. I add that to mine as well.
That was brilliant.
How do you not?
Even the remake was actually really hard.
Oh yeah. Man, I'm with you on that. Both of them are amazing.
Yeah, that was graphic as shit, but my God, it was good. I was like, whew.
It's funny though, because certain graphic things get me and others don't. I saw the Meet the Devil, or I saw The Devil. Didn't do much for me. It wasn't like, it was more gross than scary.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of shit. Like when it's just gross for the sake of
like somebody was trying to convince me to watch a Serbian film. No. And I said, what is it about? And then he told me, and I said, no. I don't need that in my... Like, no. That's the same. I had friends of mine that watched on those live leaks. They watched the ISIS beheadings. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, you can't unsee that. Why would you do that?
That just burns in your brain forever. And then it'll just flash in your head all the time. And no thanks.
Yeah, man. I don't want to get this desensitized to real shit.
Right, and that's why I don't watch shit like Hostel, things like that. That's gross to me. Like I'm like, I don't understand how someone gets off on people suffering. Like, you know,
the torture porn.
Yeah, that shit sucks. I mean, I love Halloween because, like you said, the anticipation is much greater than the act. Itself. Yeah, you know what I mean. So waiting for
and they mastered the music the same way the Psycho did it.
Yes,
the same way. I mean, the great movies, their music became their calling card because. That whatever, like that stuff, dude, goosebumps. Like that happens every time because they nailed it to that degree.
I heard the greatest theory. This is I wanted to pitch this before I fuck you. I don't want to. I always want to respect your time, man. But someone had this theory, and I know it's because Psycho had a big influence in Halloween. But somebody said, what if Sam Loomis is actually legitimately the boyfriend of the victim in Psycho? And that screwed him so much like in the head that he is obsessed with killers, wanting to know what makes them do what they do. So that's why he's so obsessed with Myers. What if it's the same guy? And I was like, that's a fucking cool concept. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I know.
I like that.
I thought, I know it's a nod to the movie that influenced it and whatever.
Yeah.
But that holds some, water. That theory was pretty cool. So I was like, that's actually kind of depth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, man, that's great. And then you added a couple of them to my list right there. That's awesome.
Yeah, shit, there's so many. I can never, and you'll probably do what I always do after the fact and be like, fuck, how did I forget about this one? And then...
Oh, yeah. The way I go, I used to bug the hell out of me. I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to have a new list for my next time I get asked. It'll be 5 different fucking films because at that day, whatever pulls me is going to be different.
Right.
Because that's just how it is. If you ask me today, and it's like today... Like I was literally just watching something about the best shark movies ever made because of this shark thing that's on the Discovery, and so it was buzzing in my head already, and literally it altered me, and I know The Exorcist. Was a big influence on me for my Agramant's Gate movie because that's that whole demon and taking people over and not knowing if they are who they say they are or if they're something else. I love the when you insert mystery to horror, it's like it becomes 10 times more intriguing. Because I don't know and I have a mind that wants to know. Right. Like, when you, I remember the one year, I think Sixth Sense, Stir of Echoes, and Stigmata. I think they all came out like back to back to back. And I'm like, damn, these movies are great. Like, why would you put them out like that? Spread those suckers out a little bit and let them own a month. Because I think Sixth Sense took over all of it. And 2 really good movies kind of went under and became, almost a direct-to-DVD type of film, and they deserved a better fate.
I agree completely. I always thought that Stir of Echoes was so underrated.
Oh, yeah.
Criminally underrated.
I think that's the best out of the three.
I'll always get people to watch it. They're like, what? Never heard of it. And I'm like,
yeah,
we got to fix this.
They're like, Kevin Bacon, horror? I'm like, dude, just shut up, watch it. Just watch it.
You know. And Jaws will always count because anything that terrifies Rob Zombie is fucking horror enough for my life.
Yeah.
You know,
hell yeah.
He always said that's the one that fucked with him. Like he won't go in pools because of that shit. He said like he's terrified of water.
I did not know that. But yeah, no, I mean I can identify. I went to Florida to go scuba diving, and we were out in Key Biscayne and we're dropping down anchors on the boats, and I'm looking down and I see reef sharks and I'm like, dude, I can't go in here. And then you see everybody go in, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna be the wuss that sits on the boat. So I get down, but I felt jumpy the whole time. I was not comfortable. And these sharks were literally 3 to 5 feet, almost all of them. And they were still terrifying to me.
It's like, I don't want to be the wuss sitting on the boat, but I also don't want to be the most appetizing looking motherfucker in there either.
Yeah, right. That looks yummy.
You know?
And what are you gonna do? You know, shit. If I can't submit Royce Gracie, then I'm probably not gonna submit the shark either. Like the triangle, probably not gonna be my best defense.
You know, I don't think sharks have throats. First,
yeah, right.
How do you find it? You know, God damn.
Shit, this was fun, man.
Oh, it was a blast, dude. Thanks so much for coming on, man. It was fun as hell.
Yeah, thanks, Keith.
So, anytime you want
we'll have to do this again and talk about some stuff we've done.
Yeah, man, definitely. You want to come back anytime and say when, and I'm definitely down for that because this was a blast.
Man, I had too much fun.
Oh, man, me too. Thanks so much for your time, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
Had a blast. Thanks, Keith. Have it easy. Take it easy.
Thanks, you too.
All right, absolute legend, Mr. Harley Wallen. Absolutely one of the coolest shows I've gotten to do, especially in recent memory. We just hit it off, man. We have the same beliefs on a lot of things. We have, you know, a lot of mutual experiences and mutual friends, but we also have unique experiences that are very interesting. He's had a lengthy career, and, you know, he's been doing movies a lot longer than myself, so I love being able to pick someone's brain and get to know the ins and outs and the little tricks that other actors have found work for them to prepare for a role. And with me being so inexperienced thus far and still new to this game, man, it's really cool to have such a legend that I could, you know, get thoughts on certain things and advice on certain things and just little tricks and methods that have worked for him in the past. So it was a really fascinating conversation to me. Hopefully you guys dug it too. I don't think it's exclusive interest to those specifically in the field and in the industry. I think everybody could relate and appreciate hearing some inside information from somebody that's been doing it so long and hear what their processes are when acting. And it was really cool to hear too that it, you know, it no matter how much of a legend you are, it does take time to learn when to look at certain scripts and just be like, nah, that's a hard pass, bro. Sometimes you have to just know when something is not for you, or it's like, man, I would never say this kind of crap, or I would never, you know, be this character, or nobody talks like that. So sometimes you have to turn down scripts because it's just dreadful. And you know, if it's not for you, if you don't see yourself being that character, why would you do it? You know what I mean? So shout out to Harley. Thank you for coming on, brother. We'll have to have you back. That was such a great show. I had so much fun. I didn't want it to end, man, but you know, you always got to be respectful of your guest's time, and we could always do it again sometime, and I hope we do. We both seem interested in that. I'd love to get him and Jan Birch on at the same time and continue where we left off, because I owe both of them a return to the show, and now it's just a matter of getting schedules on point. So Thanks a lot for listening, man, and I will catch your asses later. Hope everyone's well out there.
I will not speak to your smallness, a destruction of the fear in us. I have yet to know what I should